we're starting the webinar. Today's webinar is about the basics of web analytics, and also what it entails in terms of a career, and how big the market is, and information like this. I'd like to thank Praveen, who heads the web analytics function at Analystics, which is a leading digital marketing agency, and he's going to help us answer any of your queries, and take us and help us understand this in more detail. Right. So here's this is something which before we get into what web analytics, this is something out of all the we have a lot of programs that we offer, and we really think that this program has a lot of potential because of the following fact that quite unlike anything in the past which has been available for business managers, today there is the option of getting live data from your website. The relevance of this is that previously a lot of the actions that which managers did, also a lot of the decisions which were taken, those were based on intuition, and to substitute that, today there is live data which gives you real-time feedback about what your customers think and what they're doing on your website. But still, in spite of all this, businesses really are not using this to their benefit, and that's really why web analytics is so much in demand. So maybe I'd just like to ask Praveen here. So would you agree that very few Indian businesses really are using web analytics today, right?
So basically, web analytics is quite a new field for Indian business houses, and as the the people get more aware about it, they are starting utilizing the potential of it. And I have personally seen that some of the leading banks have been using web analytics for quite some time, and they are actually strategizing their entire online business based on the web analytics data. So it has become a very important part of the business strategy nowadays. But as we said, that the awareness about this is not that great, so we need to actually create an awareness about web analytics, and then the companies will be able to use it to the core.
Sure. So I'm seeing some message that the audio was lost. Manisha, can you confirm again that things are fine? What we've seen in the previous webinars, okay, fine, right. So Praveen, again, this is we run programs and courses which deal with web analytics, but what a lot of people ask us when they are joining the course or about to join the course is that they don't see a lot of job titles for you don't see a lot of ads saying that we require web analytics expert. So that does mean that that this is still this thing is catching up in India, but maybe the thing here is that it is a very useful additional skill. So for someone who's running online campaigns, it would be very useful additional skill.
It would be as an online marketing manager for any business house, it's always beneficial to have that additional skill in your as a skill set, because as we see all the business will be turning to online e-commerce sites, and it's very important to know what your customer is doing on your website, and web analytics is the only way through which you can identify how the customer is behaving on your website. So it's always beneficial to get a hang of web analytics, you can start off with a basic level and then graduate slowly to the advanced level.
Sure. Right.
And it helps you to get the actual ROI of your digital marketing spends, which is the most important part for any marketing strategy. What is the ROI you are generating? So through web analytics, you can get to know what is the actual ROI of your spends. If you are spending some money, you should get some return on that. And web analytics is the only way through which you can get that.
Right. We go somewhere outside and check if everything's fine. We will go there now. Yeah, so what do analytics, what does a typical analytics profession entail, right? So it basically helps businesses to make decisions based on concrete data and historical trends, and this data is about is about what people have been doing on their site and where they are coming from, and what they're doing, what's the kind of interaction. And this is the kind of data which web analytics professionals study, right? It's anyone who's getting into this has to deal with a lot of technical terms, and a lot of them are logical, stuff like average time spent on the site, etc. But there are a lot of shades of differences between what people understand when you say session or when you say visit, and what what the industry understands with that, and that's something which an analytics professional has to deal with pretty much early in his career, right?
So basically, earlier what used to happen is that people used to put hit counters on their website to see how many people are hitting their website. But now hit counters are not relevant in this period of time. Now people more look at the visits, how many visits a website gets in a day, and basically hits are basically when somebody request any file from your site, which is not a right way to measure, but visit is, or let's say average time spent on your site, which shows that how the content on your website is good enough to make the person stay back and read the entire thing, spend more time on the page. So visits, average page time spent on the page, bounce rate are some of the key metrics which you need to look in if you want to improve the performance of your website.
Right.
And web analytics gives you all these details, and most of them is available for free.
Sure. Yeah. So what you see here is a rather formal definition of web analytics. We'll get into what it actually means practically. Just to give a perspective, this whole category started with products which before the kind of products, web analytics products that you see today. People used to rely on log files and hit counters, as Praveen was just talking about, and only then we moved into JavaScript tag-based products. So all the current set of web analytics products, do they all rely on JavaScript cookies?
No, basically there are two type of web analytics software. One is the log-based, and the second is the JavaScript-based. So log-based web analytics software, what they do is they take your server log files, process them, and present the data in a meaningful report, which a web analytics professional can understand and take out business insight. And this, it's not real time basically. The log analysis softwares are not real time in nature. But for JavaScript page tagging analytics softwares gives you the data on a real-time basis. So what it involves is that you need to tag your page, each and every page of your website, with a code snippet, which is a JavaScript code. And this JavaScript code, collects the data from your page and the browser, send it back to the server, and process it in a meaningful, report and present it to you. So basically there are two kind of softwares. One is the log based and the other one is
But I thought the log based products are on their way out, right? So most of the new ones, so Google Analytics, Web Trends, etc., they are JavaScript.
So Google Analytics, Omniture, Yahoo Web Analytics, all of them are JavaScript based, and Web Trends is a log based. So log based is that you need to create a separate server wherein you can process the log files and then they show the data. So it's more complicated and to implement and maintain, because you need to maintain a separate server for processing entire log files, because log files are like very huge in the size. But JavaScript tagging is a simpler way to do it, and it's more fast and reliable. But the only drawback with JavaScript based softwares is that there might be visitors who has JavaScript disabled in their browser, so those visits won't be count. But it's like 90% of the people have JavaScript enabled. So and web analytics softwares are basically to give you a trend, and they don't provide you the absolute number, so you cannot really rely on them for your you cannot match your accounting with the revenue given by web analytics software. So use them to get a trend of the behavior of your visitor on the site.
Right. Yeah, so that's an important point actually, the fact that you need to look at analytics from the trend point of view. I hope we are audible right now. If anyone is still facing any issues, please let us know by typing it out, and we'll do something to see. We'll do our best to see that things are okay. Yeah, and if things are not fine, a good option is to re-log in. We've seen that to work in our previous webinars. So yeah, let's come down to what is the actual data which web analytics what it helps us to measure. And it's these are three buckets in which you can put the data, right? So there is who are your visitors, which is from what is the IP location. You want to just take this slide?
So what web analytics does is that it gives you an information about from where your visitors are coming, as in what is the country from where they're coming, what is the city, what sort of browser they are using, what is the operating system of their laptops or computers, what sort of screen resolution they are using. All this information they get from the browser and the JavaScript code which we place on the pages of the website. First, this is the visitor level information which they provide you, and secondly, what they tell you is that how they reach to your website. Now, let's suppose if you are doing some marketing campaign, what you can do is you can tag your URLs with the web analytics parameters, and then it will start taking in the data. So for any marketing activity to be successful, you need to see what is the impact on your website traffic. Okay, so if you are using Google Analytics, then Google Analytics provide you integration with Google AdWords, automatic integration, so you can see all your AdWords campaign directly in Google Analytics. I mean, so that's the simplest way of tracking the source of the website. And the last thing is what Google, what a web analytics software will tell you is what a visitor is doing on your website. What is the navigation path which is taking? If it is coming from home page, and it gives you a conversion funnel actually, where a visitor is exiting your website, why a visitor is exiting your website, what can you do to improve them, improve the performance of your website. Basically, a entire navigation path. What are the popular areas on which a visitor is clicking on your website? So it gives you an entire chart wherein you can see how you can optimize the performance of your website or your conversion funnel or your shopping cart, how you can improve the performance.
Right. So yeah, these are convenient buckets in which you can categorize the data which web analytics professionals typically study. And Praveen already spoke of the common tools. There's Web Trends, Omniture, Google Analytics, and Praveen was just telling me some time back that